Crochet. So the word in this tutorial we will work together on this tunic blouse. Anyway, something very comfy but very fancy. It is all worked with the corner to corner construction. I have been thinking about a blouse with this technique for a little bit of time, and I finally got this idea and actually design it. It is a really easy construction. All that you need to know is how to crochet with the corner to corner technique, the rectangle and the triangle, and for this I am showing you in the tutorial too. So don't worry, there is all there. And you will need to crochet. Actually, there are two rectangles, long rectangles that creates the body of the blouse. So one rectangle begins from the length. Half of this rectangle is the length of the blouse itself, because is the front side, then goes over the shoulder. So on the shoulder we don't have sewing lines, goes over the shoulder, behind the shoulder on the back side, and the same thing with the other rectangles. So they are two, exactly the same thing, two rectangles, these two. Then in the middle, back side, back of the neck, we have a triangle. So we will need a nice and small triangle just to create this opening on the back of the neck. On the front side instead, we will leave it as it is, as a nice v-neck line, and we will actually, as you can see, put a nice border with the elastic stitch, back post, front post, double crochet, really nice. And then we will work two more rectangles or squares, in my case squares, for the sleeves. We will join together, and if you want to, you can put a nice border, exactly the same border that I put here with the elastic stitch on the front and back side. And actually here I leave it a little bit open, so just a little open, because I like it like this, but you can just sew it all together on the sides. And that's it. I work it with a 3.75 millimeters hook, so you can use a yarn for 3.5 to 3.75. I don't know, it is a Aran, not an Aran, maybe a lace yarn. I think about 400 grams, 350 to 400 grams. Now, if you need the written instruction, I have the written instruction with all the measures that can help to alter in your measure or another measure. So in your size or another size, sorry. My size, you know, is a medium size. You can purchase them directly for me, so I put below the mail when you can contact me, so I can send you the link, the PayPal. It's a PayPal payment, only PayPal payment, to purchase the written instruction, and I will send them via mail, ovvio. Of course, sorry, that was in Italian, of course, in a PDF document. So anyway, you have the link below, you have the mail where you can write to me to know better about if you are interested in the written instructions. For the rest, it's all in the video, so let's get started. So let's see how to work the rectangle with the C2C corner to corner technique. We begin with by chaining 6, yarn over. From the beginning we count 3, into the third chain we go, we double crochet into it and into the next 2 chains. Okay. From here we chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same thing into the third. From the beginning we go into the fourth from the hook if you want to, if it's easier for you, and 3 double crochets. Now this little square was the first row, and this the second row, beginning of the second row. In each row we have one, we will put one more little square. We flip it over like this, and we insert hook where we have the chain 3 into the space in between the chain 3 and the double crochet, and we slip stitch, then chain 3, and into the same chain 3 space around it we work 3 double crochets. To work the rectangle with the corner to corner technique, we will have 3 steps. The first step where we increase both sides, this one and this one. The second step when we will have the width that we want, so one side will be the width that we want. We will stop the width and we increase, so with the width we will go on straight on the side. On one side we will continue on increasing. And the third step where we will stop increasing and we will actually kind of decrease to create the other corner. Now we increase in both sides. So to increase we always begin with chain 6, insert hook into the third, chain from the begin or fourth from the hook, work your 3 double crochets, flip it over, insert hook into the chain here and attach the new square, chain 3, into the chain 3 we go, and we go the other squares. So all the other squares are worked around the chain 3 of the previous row. Again we attach the square around the chain 3 here, so into the space in between the 3 double crochet and the chain 3 of the previous row of the, and then chain 3 and work the last, your last okay. This is the first step. So as you can see we go and increase into each. So we always begin with 3, 4, 5, 6. We will always have attach, actually have, see, yes, one little square more into each row that we go like this. Okay, so now we flip and we join the new square and we go chain 3 into the chain 3 of the previous row of the square of the previous row. We work the double crochets, 3 double crochet, then around here, not around, in between the group of 3 and the chain, we slip stitch, we chain 3 and we go with the next. Okay, and we go and join with the last square and into the chain 3, around the chain 3 space of the last square of the previous row we work last square of this row. Okay, look at it, it's here. So we began with 1, then 2, 3 and 4, and this is how we will continue on. I will show you one more time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We go into the third from the beginning and for me it's easier like this, to count like this, and we work our 3 double crochets. We flip the work, insert hook in between the 3 double crochet and chain 3 of the previous row, and then after we join the new square, little square, we go into the chain 3 and we work all the rest of our squares, little squares. We join into the next, slip stitch and chain 3, and around the chain 3 space we go with 3 double crochets. Pretty easy now. And let's say that with this row we just have the width, we reach the width that we want for our project. Okay. Actually, for the 2 rectangles for the body, the width must be 1 part of the 4 parts. Okay, so as I explained into the first part of the video of the tutorial, this is the width, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I put actually 20, sorry. So this is 5, let's say it's perfect, and now I have to go and work in length. So when you consider that it's right, as I said before, we will stop increase on this side because this is the width. I need to have exactly the same number from now on. Here is the part that I need to increase because I need to work in length. So to remain with the same number, you will just chain 1 and turn and slip stitch, skipping the first double crochet, slip stitch the second, slip stitch into the third, slip stitch into the chain, around the chain, so into the chain 3 space here, in between the 3 and the chain 3 space. And from here we begin the round, okay? This is the second step where we will always begin on the side here, this side. This is the side that we have to increase, the side with the yarn, the tail. This is a side where we have to begin like this because we don't want to increase. So that's all. This is what we will work. This is how we will work for the length that we need, and the length must be front and back side. Okay, so first you decide the length of the blouse that you want to be, and you will work twice that length. That will be the total length of your rectangle, because it begins in the front and it goes to the back over the shoulder. Okay, now here I will complete with my last square. Don't forget to complete with the last square, little square. Okay, this is it. And here I need to add more squares, so I will continue on increasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so on one side we don't increase, on the other side we increase, which means once we begin with the small little square, once we begin with the slip stitch. Okay, depends on which side we are. The rest is exactly the same. In the middle we work exactly the same, the rows. Okay, and you will see that we actually kind of increase in length, but we just remain with the same base. Okay, I will work 2 or 3 more like this, and then I will show you the third part, how to stop increasing at all. So when you reach the length that you need, Okay, here I am. So here I will stop here, chain 1 and turn. Okay, look, I have 1 2 3 4 5, and here I will still have 5 always. Okay, even if I am increasing in length, I will still have the same number that I have here. So when you stop increase on this side, you will still have the same number of squares, little squares, but you will increase, you will just continue on in length. Okay, so as you can see, in length I have more. And here I turn, I chained 1 already, so I will just slip stitch once, slip stitch twice, slip stitch in between the 3 double crochets and the chain, and then begin your row. Okay, now let me just go ahead, as I said, with one more row, and then I will show you the third and the last. So I work some. I have 12 in length. In length I have 12 small squares, and I decided this is the perfect number that I need. So normally must be from the front over the shoulder to the back. So half of this must be the length that you need for your blouse. I decide that this is enough, and what I have to do is to begin exactly as I always as I began here into the second step. Okay, so I chain 1, turn, and this is the third step. We begin on both sides in the same way. Okay, and now we begin to decrease actually. When we begin in both sides with slip stitch, and begin the row, so we don't add any square, we begin to decrease until we will have again 1 square. Okay. So I am ready here, just finished. So as you can see, instead of 4 I have 1 2 3, instead of 5, sorry, I have only 4. And I just go ahead like this. So this is the third and the last step. When you work a square, you just work the first and the third step. So you increase, and then you decrease, okay? You don't have to work the second step, the one with increasing only on one side. And this is all. Now for the blouse you will need 4 rectangles, as I explained you, and 1 triangle. And now let me show you how to work the triangle. It's exactly, you work it exactly as I shown you, only that this is the last square that I add. Can you see? It's the last one. And which means I just finished my rectangle. We need 2, like this, 1 2 and 3. Okay, can cut the yarn. Okay, so let's see, this is the blouse. We need 2, and in the middle, only the back side, we will need a triangle. The triangle will be the back of the neck. So we will just measure how large you want to be the back of the neck, and that will be the length will be given by the triangle. Let me show you how to work. So the triangle is worked exactly with the first step. With the first step of the rectangle, you work the entire triangle. I only want to show you how to finish it. So here it is, my triangle, and let's say that it's enough to put it in the middle, so will be kind of like this. Okay, this is the back side. Sorry, it's the back side, and will be, no, not wrong. You will see further on. Okay, it's only a short part. Okay, so how to finish it, because you can see here we cannot leave it like this. Okay, I will chain 1, slip stitch. Okay, and now into this part where we have to work the squares, we will work chain 1, half double crochet, elongated double crochet. So chain 1, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So we actually pull through 1 before we pull through 2 and pull through 2. Chain 1 and the same thing. Half double crochet, double crochet, and elongated double crochet. Pull through 1, 2, and 2. Okay. Chain 1. So we kind of cover, bring at the same level, smooth, nice and smooth, the back side, the back of the neck. Okay, with this. Okay, this and the elongated one. I'll insert hook here, and here we are ready. That's it. As you can see, we kind of have, it is just a nice straight line, and we just formed a triangle. Okay, let's get started with the... Okay, so let me just explain you how it is, so the structure actually of this blouse. So it's really easy. There are 2 rectangles, all in corner to corner technique, 2 rectangles that will be the front and the back, the front and the back. So it's obvious that half of a, one rectangle must be the third part of the entire circumference. The entire circumference, because this plus this plus this plus this, it's the circumference of the body. So these 2 rectangles will be folded from the front of the body over the shoulder to the back of the body, and here will be sewn. Here we'll have the arm opening, and here I just leave a nice piece that is not joined together. It looks nice, and the same thing on the other side. So just a piece like this. Okay, now then will be a border here, and let me just show you better, just a little bit. This is one, and this is the other one rectangle, because it's like this that we will sew together here in the middle too. And here will be a triangle, corner to corner, same technique, a triangle, just for the back of the neck. Okay, just for the back of the neck. And I put here 20, let me tell you, 20 small squares. Okay, and here I put 14, okay, for the triangle. And in length, I really don't remember, I think 72, but it's you to decide. Half of this rectangle it's the length that your blouse will have. Okay, on the front side, so this is the back side, and it is the triangle with the corner to corner technique. On the front side will be just the neckline, V-neck line, and we will put a nice border, elastic border stitch, elastic stitch border, okay? Only on the back side we'll have this triangle. Then for the sleeve, we will work 2 rectangles. Actually, I worked 2 squares, but anyway, the important thing is you will decide on your rectangle how many stitches. So let's say this is here, it is fold, okay? Front side, back side, front side, back side. Here it is fold. On the back side you will have also the triangle. On the front side you will have, yes, the neckline with a border, okay? And now you have to decide how many squares, small squares you will, little squares of the corner to corner, you will leave out for the circumference of the arm. I left out 10 on one side, 10 on the other side, which means 20. So the width of the square or rectangle that you will work for the sleeve must have 20 little squares, okay? And then of course we will join all, and in the tutorial I show you all the steps how to join the parts together. The important thing is for you to understand now the structure, that it's really easy, but maybe it's a little bit difficult to understand. Anyway, look at it, but please look at it very, very well, because you can also, I am a medium size, so you can just look a little bit on my, and I work all the entire actually blouse with a 3.75 millimeters hook. Okay, so you can just with a let's say yarn to be worked with 3.75 millimeters hook. Okay, so from here you can just decide, but it's really, really easy. This must be the third part of the entire circumference. You will begin with this one. Okay, so you will work as many little squares as you need for the third part of the entire circumference. Nice and large, must be nice and large, okay? Circumference of the hip, so hip circumference. And then from here you will work the entire length of the front and back together, okay? Then this one will be exactly the same. For the other things it's really, really easy. Okay, let's get started.